Senator Heller.
Mr. Chairman, thank you, and to the Secretary, thank you for being here today. You know, we've seen some improvements out in the state of Nevada, and I want to thank you for that. We have a pretty good team out there. Not this weekend, but next weekend, we have the Pahrump Health Clinic. Finally. I've been working on this since I was in the House, so you can imagine how many years that's taken. I'm glad to see that. We have a new director in the regional office there in Nevada. Very helpful, and looking forward to good things. Also, a new director in the hospital down in Southern Nevada. Seeing those changes, moving in the right direction, I certainly do appreciate it. But I do have a couple questions for you. If you're a California veteran and you're in the chairman's state of Georgia and you need immediate health care, do you mind? Is there a problem with them going to a VA hospital in Georgia to get that health care?
This is a very relevant and insightful question. No, it's not a problem, but today we don't yet have we haven't yet built the capability to allow that occur. And one of our breakthrough objectives here is by the end of the year, a veteran can go anywhere they want and we will serve them. And so that's one of the things we've identified that we want to, David, you want to talk a little more?
Senator, we call this seamless care. It's exactly what we want, which is that if you're a veteran, you should be able to be cared for at every facility. We do have some challenges to doing that, but all but 3 of our facilities have what's called a traveling veteran coordinator. So a veteran can ask to speak to them, and their job is to help facilitate it. Our goal is to make sure that you don't need to contact a person, that our systems recognize you as a veteran. You should be able to get care wherever you walk into a facility.
What's the timeline for putting that system in place?
December 31st, 2016.
2016, by the end of the year.
By the end of the year.
So would you care if a veteran, say in Ely or Elko, Nevada, went to Salt Lake? I mean, I guess when this system's in place, would it matter if they went to Reno or went to?
It won't matter where they go. It'll just be like you get your prescription at CVS or Walgreens and you go to a different state and get the same thing.
We're getting some feedback, just so you know the
Yes.
purpose of this question, out of Mesquite, which is right on the Nevada-Utah border. Some of them want to go to St. George, and some of them want to go to Las Vegas. It's a lot further to Las Vegas than it is to St. George. So you're saying
We want to be agnostic. We want the veteran to be able to decide where they go, and we want to be agnostic. One of the things we've talked about here, which is also critical to this issue, is today if you're a veteran and you move and you have to change your address with VA, you have to change it in about 9 different places. We want to move to one data backbone for all of VA, one what's called a consumer response system, where if you go online to populate a form, we automatically populate it from the data backbone we have, so you don't have to write the information in. And we don't have that single data backbone today, but it's one of our objectives that we're taking on for this year.
Okay, so I can go to Mesquite and talk to them that say, you know, sometime around the end of the year, you would be comfortable of going to either hospital of your choice. Is that fair?
Yes, you should today be able to, it's just going to be more painful than we want it. But we're trying to make the system actually support what you're asking.
Right now, some of our veterans in that particular area are being restricted, telling them that they have to travel the extra mileage, 45 minutes, as opposed to going to St. George. I'd certainly like to see that change. I have one other question based on your IG's report and the question that they have relative to your backlog. They say they don't trust the data. And you know, in the state of Nevada, we were ground zero for the problems with these backlogs, and we are seeing some improvement. But can you assure me that the Inspector General isn't accurate on some of this data that they claim that they don't trust?
I'm not sure the date of that report, but I imagine it was probably in 2014. But I believe the data is
You're painting
accurate.
a rosy picture if I got them correctly. Is that,
We go through the data every day, Danny.
Senator, I would disagree with the IG on their assessment that they don't trust the data for the backlog. The one thing that we have tons of in VBA is data, and I can tell you that the data on the backlog is accurate. It's still not where we want it to be, and we're going to continue to drive it down. Same thing with appeals, but I believe that the data is accurate data.
the Nevada VFW had their midwinter conference last Saturday, and I had a chance to address them, and this was one of the concerns that they brought up. was the fact that they're concerned that we're painting too good of a picture, that they're obviously on top of this IG report, saying that perhaps the data isn't as accurate as being reported back to them and to the state.
Every time I get one of those questions or comments, and as you know, I've given out my cell phone number publicly, I encourage people to call me, is I always ask for, give me the instance, give me the date, who did you deal with? Because a lot of this is just simply that we've got to continue to work to rebuild trust. But a lot of this is the trust that was lost in 2014. A lot of the IG reports coming out right now date to some time ago and have already been remediated. But anyway, I'd be happy to get together on that one and get into greater
Mr. Secretary,
detail.
thank you. And for all of you for being here, Mr. Chairman, thanks for the
Senator Bozeman.
time.